She stood in front of the mirror, tilting her head slightly as she fastened her earrings. Her movements were calm and deliberate, as though she were preparing for an ordinary evening out. I sat on the couch just a few feet away, bent forward while tying the laces of my sneakers. In my mind, I had imagined this night differently. I thought we'd share a quiet dinner, talk about our week, and maybe enjoy a rare pocket of peace after all the stress and routine we'd been living through. But that picture shattered the moment she opened her mouth. With a steady, almost indifferent tone, she said, "I have a date." The words rolled off her tongue as casually as if she had mentioned running out to buy groceries. For a second, I thought I must have misheard. 3 years of memories, late-night movies, spontaneous trips, holding each other through fevers and through fights, suddenly unraveled with that one cold declaration. "Excuse me?" My voice cracked, disbelief spilling out before anger could. She caught my eyes in the mirror's reflection, her face unshaken. "I said, I have a date," she repeated, giving a slight shrug. "We're not really together anymore, are we?" That shrug hit harder than her words. It wasn't just what she said, it was the way she dismissed everything we'd been, brushing our years aside like they were meaningless. Something inside me shifted at that moment. I stood slowly, deliberately, and reached for my keys. She turned, a faint, almost smug smile tugging at her lips. Maybe she expected me to break down, to beg her to stay, to hand her that last bit of power. But instead, I looked straight at her, the woman I once thought I'd spend my life with, and quietly said, "That's fine." Because I didn't know how to tell you I've been seeing someone, too. The color drained from her face in an instant. Her smile vanished, her eyebrows shot up, and her lips parted without sound. For the first time in weeks, she didn't have a clever remark ready. Panic flickered in her eyes as she gripped her purse tighter. "You're lying," she finally whispered, her voice shaking, stripped of its usual sharpness. I shook my head. No reason to lie. I've met someone who listens, who doesn't scroll through her phone when I'm talking. I never crossed any line before, but now you've made it easy to be honest. I just didn't want to hurt you. Guess you didn't feel the same. I walked to the door and paused. For a moment, I waited, just in case she had something left to say. But she stood frozen, lips parted, like she had forgotten how to speak. That was when I realized she wasn't nearly as ready to move on as she wanted me to believe. I stepped outside, letting the door close softly behind me. No slammed doors, no dramatic exits, just a quiet, final goodbye to everything we once were. I didn't call her. I didn't block her. I didn't check her social media. I left her with silence, letting her experience what it felt like not being the one in control. Days went by. Then, a week later, my phone lit up with a single word from her. I stared at the message, but there was nothing left inside me to respond with. She had broken something in me, and though I managed to piece myself back together, I was no longer the man who would have run after her. That version of me had disappeared the night she shrugged us off. I didn't reply. I let her message fade away like an echo I no longer needed to hear. Life kept moving. I began seeing the other woman, slowly, carefully, with no rush. She wasn't chaos or a storm. She was steady, thoughtful, someone who actually listened without turning everything back to herself. No games, no pretense, just honesty, the rarest gift. The more time I spent with her, the more I questioned why I had stayed so long in a relationship where I was always walking on eggshells. Sometimes, late at night, I still think back to that moment, the way she said it, like it was nothing, unaware that those words would be the turning point. I wonder if she ever regretted it, if she even went on that date at all. Maybe she did, and it ended terribly. Or maybe she sat alone that night, replaying my words in her head, realizing she wasn't the only one capable of walking away with her pride intact.